Everyone, my name is Richard Jimerson. I've been with ARIN for quite a few years now, just for the last few years as your Chief Operating Officer. As I'm getting started with this presentation, just wanted to relay to all of you how important it is to us that you're here with us today and that we're actually able to engage with you. We have a very committed, dedicated staff to the mission of the organization that enjoy their work, that enjoy the service that we provide to you. And we're happy to present some of the work that we've done here over the last 6 months and some things that are coming up here for the rest of this year. Next slide, please. So pandemic operations, all of us are working inside of pandemic, of course, worldwide. And so I'll give you a little bit about specific items to ARIN. The staff entered 100% remote work environment back in March of 2020. So we've been doing this just over a year now. During that time, several ARIN staff members have come down with COVID-19, and we're very thankful that the staff have come through that and that people have recovered. During the time when we've had people out sick or ill, or they had very close family members that are out sick or ill, we've all covered for each other and worked very hard to keep the operations running for all of you. There's a limited staff reopening program that we initiated back in the summer of 2020 that's currently still under use. During the time from March to the summer, no one was able to go in and use the office at all unless there was some sort of emergency operations issue that required that staff be able to go in there. But since the summer of 2020, people can fill out a form, agree to certain terms of use for the office. And we have about 5 to 10 people in the office per day on average going in there. And they're following safety protocols, of course, and making sure that everyone stays safe. We continue to follow guidance from local and national governments on how we should proceed forward with our work and making sure that no one's put at unnecessary risk. We continue to focus on our customer service and the continuity of the registry operations. We had a plan at the beginning of the last year. We were able to execute on that through the end of 2020, and we're executing on our plan with 2021 this year. We continue to get outstanding guidance from the Board of Trustees and the community through the Board of Trustees on how we should be operating as a registry. And we're very happy to continue that work even amidst the pandemic. And we're looking forward to moving past the pandemic, like I'm sure all of you are. Now, one of the things that we are doing is we're being real about what's happening post-pandemic. We don't believe that we're going to go back exactly to the way things were before. We're, very much everyone in the office, everyday shop at ARIN for the last 20 years. And what we found is that we're really good at remote operations in some areas, and we want to be able to keep the good, even post-pandemic, although a large number of us will be back in the office every day of the week once we're able to safely do that. Next slide, please. So here in 2021, we're fully engaged as we continue to operate in this pandemic environment. We're online with a lot of you now instead of in person. Looking forward to going back to some of our in-person activities here sometime soon. Hollis gave an outstanding presentation earlier about how we pivoted and how we transitioned to online. And similarly, we're going to pivot again, and we're going to do a mix of the online with some in-person events as we move forward through the end of the pandemic here. Just want to highlight that the routing registry that we deployed last year was followed up with some additional work, and we deployed some API pieces for the routing registry in Q1 of this year, and we continue to add to those, and that's a continuing piece of work. We're iterating on the routing registry inside ARIN Online. It's become a very popular product, and we continue to improve that. The demand for registry services continues to grow, without a doubt. There are organizations that we're interfacing with and answering questions for now that are more than ever before. So when it comes to ARIN's operations and services it's much more than just the people who have a contract with us. If you look at the delivery of WHOIS services and the increasing demand for those services, governments, law enforcement agencies don't have agreements with ARIN. They may not even hold direct registrations in the database, but they need information from the organization in order to do their jobs. And we're constantly accommodating a growing need inside that space, in addition to a growing ticket load inside the organization. Our due diligence practices continue to expand to counter growing fraud attempts against the registry. We spent a good amount of time talking today and in previous days about, hey, things are changing in the world in terms of the use of the registries. One of the things we just talked about just a little while ago is IPv4 transfers. IPv4 transfers create a lot of work for the organization, especially in the due diligence area. I think I heard in the panel just a little while ago that, hey, the supply isn't there like it used to be. The easy stuff to source for other organizations to receive a transfer isn't there as readily. And really what's happening is the harder to assert in terms of registration rights, IPv4 address blocks are starting to present themselves to come inside the transfer space. And it's not as easy for some of these organizations or individuals trying to attest they're connected to the organization to be able to prove that, to be able to demonstrate that to us. And it takes a great deal of due diligence work by the registry. And in fact, a large portion of the work that we put into this doesn't result in a successful transfer. It basically what it is us thwarting a transfer that should not happen, that could damage the system that we all rely on right now. So we're putting a lot of work into that. It's taking a lot of our time. We've added a senior product owner for routing security services since the last time that we talked. The community is using our RPKI services and our routing registry services at a level that we didn't even anticipate just a few years ago. Our RPKI had a very slow uptake, but that's not the case anymore. And as we continue to grow those services and modify our systems to fit the need of the community for routing security services, it became evident to us that we need to bring someone in to product own that area of our services. And we very specifically put that position under our chief customer officer, answering to the customer relationship of our organization and our community. And they oversee work that's being done in all other areas of the company relating to routing security services and site engineering and otherwise. And we have a new position that we're announcing this month. So you should see something announced here soon. We've always had security staff inside of our organization, but we're looking to upscale that presence inside the ARIN registry organization and bring senior level leadership onto the ARIN team in the area of information security operations. So you'll see a new position being announced for a very high level information security staff person to be joining the executive staff of the ARIN organization. Next slide, please. So a little bit about ARIN 48. This is where we get to talk about the next meeting coming up. I think the last couple of times we've given this presentation in this virtual environment, we've said that we were cautiously optimistic about doing the next meeting in person, okay? Well, we've kind of given up on the cautiously optimistic language. And basically what we've done is we've said, okay, we're gonna plan for the next meeting to be hybrid no matter what. And the place where we're cautiously optimistic is the in-person portion that we're planning, but the online portion will happen as planned, as scheduled, with no last minute changes or anything like that. So I'm giving you guys the straight scoop on what we're doing for ARIN 48. The current plan is it's going to be held across 3 sessions. The first session is going to be virtual public policy meeting. That'll be on the 19th and 20th of October, and it'll take place just like the one we're in right now. And so you should expect the same type of behavior and service in terms of the conducting of the meeting on the 19th and 20th of October for the PPM portion of ARIN 48. On the 28th of October, we're going to have a virtual election forum where everyone will have equal access to the candidates and the election process inside the ARIN organization and be able to find the information they need there to participate in the election. We didn't want to plan for that to be in person and then have to back it out and be virtual. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and we've planned that as virtual up front. So that's what you should expect for the 28th of October. And then on the 4th of November will be the hybrid members meeting. So that'll be like the today portion of the meeting, and it'll be about a half day long or so. And that will be in person in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis will be the location for an in-person portion. We have NANOG happening the days prior to that in person, planned for Minneapolis. And then the ARIN members meeting will be a hybrid one the day following NANOG. And so what that'll look like is your regular in-person portion and this online facility that we've been enjoying over the last couple of meetings happening in a hybrid way. So you should look forward to that, but that's what the plan is currently. And if there are any changes to that, as we learn about them, we'll let you know about it. Okay, so it's a mix of virtual and hybrid to ensure the highest levels of accessibility and equal participation options for all of our mission critical topics. And of course, again, these plans are all subject to change based on what's going on with COVID-19, any spikes in the pandemic or not, so on and so forth. Even if the WHO and the CDC and everyone came out and said the pandemic is completely over, you should expect to see the meeting delivered this way in October and November. The only thing that will change is if the pandemic changed a bit and it prevented travel and we decided that we couldn't do the in-person portion, but we'll let you know. Next slide, please. That's it. Happy to take any questions that you have. I'm available to answer questions here. Paul and John were also available on mic.
Reminder to put your name and affiliation in the question and answer when you type it, and raise your hand if you'd like to be acknowledged to speak.
Well, you are wearing a mask, John. I was like, is that some weird Zoom artifact?
I think that that's a photocopy of John on his mask. So
it unlocks my iPhone.
So everyone quickly take a picture of this, and then you can find John's iPhone.
Only one on my face, though, Paul. So yes, we all have to stay safe, and hopefully we'll be able to have a nice, safe ARIN 48. But we're planning hybrid.
Yep, and we will obviously see what 2022 brings us. You know, we hope normalcy, but of course, it was just a year ago. We figured that it was just going to be Kentucky, and we'd be back. I can't remember where we were supposed to be. Seattle. Right. It was supposed to be in October in Seattle.
We were supposed to be in Tampa today. So.
Correct. Okay, I don't think there's any questions. Is there? So we invite
Nancy.
Well,
thank you, everyone. Thank you, gentlemen.